I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue.
What did you think of your boys' performance at the weekend? Andy, I think Andy was telling me earlier on he thought Leicester were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, no, they weren't. They were so boring. Honestly, if that shot from Hazard had gone in, Puel's looking for a new job.
Yeah.
They are terrible, but it shows how bad Chelsea were.
So there we are. Well done is what he means by that.
Yeah, I don't.
So if we've got any TV formats out there for Dan Pohl, he's here, and he may leave this studio a TV star. So TalkSport.com/H&J. You can text to 810.
Fingers crossed as if it might happen.
Yeah. Well, it's,
oh, yes.
And I did a Christmas show on TalkSport, and I never looked back. And,
that's true.
It is so great to have won a BAFTA. Thank you to everybody. Poles Apart was like a sensational, seminal show. It was an everyman TV series. We could all relate to it. What would happen if we had to be a part? It doesn't matter anyway. You get the idea.
Yes.
So TalkSport.com/H&J. Text to 81089. You can tweet to TSH&J, TSHANDJ, and we'll read the best of them out. The TalkSport listeners here may come up with a few for Dan. If they do, as you get closer to the mic,
they might have done already if they were going to.
What's that? You think?
Yeah.
You think? Well, they might take a bit of time to think about it. So, anybody got anything at the moment for Dan? Polls? No poll?
Oh, pole dancing.
Pole dancing, yeah. I mean, we flesh that.
It's got to be on the BBC. They love a bit of a dancing show.
Yeah, it's not great. But I mean, what's the format?
Well, but it's got to involve Shirley Ballas.
Not Shirley Bassey.
No, that would be hopeless.
Sorry, that was that was you, Mark, wasn't it?
Hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall. Well, he's like bricked up. See how he gets on. Yeah. Pole dog. That's that thing where it's all shot on those in the kind of.
Yeah, but he's topless.
Oh, okay.
Well, pole dog.
Why is he topless in that?
Pole dog.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, I'm with you on that. Yeah. I thought you just wanted to see him topless. Yeah. What's going on with Andy? Anyway, we're going to be bringing you some favourite clips throughout the years during the show. So, should we kick it off, Andy? I think we should.
Yes,
we
should.
find enough bits of paper here. Where's it gone?
Here we
here it is. I got it. Okay. So look, this is Alan Brazil. It's a very, very old clip. Alan sounds like he's about 5. It is quite shocking how different he sounds. And this was a call that he thought was about sport, but it took a different turn.
Let's go to London and Neil. At the moment, no one disagreeing. Neil, good morning. Welcome to TalkSport.
Good morning, Alan.
Hi.
Greetings to a fellow Celt.
Thank you.
I was sorry the Kilted Warriors weren't in Euro 2000.
Well, they were close, but I'm not sure how well Scotland would have done as well when you look at that last 4.
It's very questionable. On the general point, I would say that sport has become far too pressurised and high profile.
Right.
And I would say that sport needs a completely new direction. In fact, I think the whole world needs a new direction to simplify it and get back to the simple, innocent little things of life. And believe it or not, Alan, I think it soon will get it with the second coming of Christ.
Right, I take your point, Neil. Let's go down to Watford and talk to people.
Yeah, take your point, Neil.
Take your point,
Neil. Yeah, the second coming indeed. So, what's next then?
It's Beaky, and this, of course, a famous moment when, well, you'll hear what happened.
Well, he has been able to get a bit partridge now and again, Beaky, hasn't he? Yeah.
He could have played for 4 countries altogether. Here's Krasic from the right-hand side, clips it back, Zigic with a header down, great chance, it's there! It's been belted home by Milan Jovanovic, and Serbia, just after Germany had been reduced to 10 men, have taken the lead here. Sensational, he's fallen down the moat.
There we are, fallen down the moat. Now, Christmas, as we often say, a time when you remember old friends, sadly no longer with us. And that's true of our old mate Mike Dickin, presented here for many years.
I had somebody come up to me the other day at a party and say, I used to love Mike Dickin.
Well, he was brilliant.
Yeah,
he was a brilliant broadcaster, Mike. And this was his kind of who's on first moment with a TalkSport caller.
Derek's on the Wirral. Where you going, Derek?
Hello.
Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek. Hi.
No, I'm Derek. No, you're Derek.
I'm
Mike.
Derek as well.
You got me confused now.
You're Derek.
Yeah.
No, it's just Derek. Just to let you know.
No, I'm not Derek. You're Derek.
I'm Derek.
I'm Mike.
Oh, Mike. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
It's all right, Paul. Don't worry about it. We're on air.
Oh, sorry, I'm just someone's just passing. Somebody wants a beer. Fantastic, yeah. So, guys, we have some port there if you want to take some of that. So there we are. Okay. That's the great Derek moment. Should we have one more quickie before we go to the break? And it is, of course, Jeffrey Boycott, our old favourite Jeff Boycott clip.
Right, David Lloyd I have on the phone. David?
I don't know what happened.
It was valve trouble, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was irritable bowel syndrome. So, there we are. We're going to play some of the best of the clips. Going to talk more to the listeners. Already, quite a lot of TV formats are coming in, Dan. You'll be pleased to hear. Pole position. Dan dissects the Kama Sutra. Blimey. School pass one, folks.
Christmas Eve.
Mark in Nottingham. Sorry, kids. Don't ask your dad anything about that. More to come. TalkSport.com. Text 1089. Tweet.
Around the world.
Hawksbee and Jacobs here on TalkSport. I'll be having a good Christmas Eve. We're with you till 4 o'clock. We've got the TalkSport listeners with us in the studio.
Ooh, having a lovely time. We've just had mince pies.
Mince pies, yeah. We've got a couple of beers here. You always feel for the people who come in after us. It is quite pungent, isn't it? So Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray.
I don't care. I'm gone home.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You're all hot.
I know.
So, what else we got near a mic? We've got Jay. Good afternoon, Jay. We'll get you. So you got a mouthful of mince pie. That's one of the.
I was enjoying the nation's best mince pies.
They are, yeah. Now it's a shop round the corner, quite a posh baker's. How much are they, though, Andy?
They're over £1 each now.
Over £1 each for that mince. You're actually taking your time now, Jay, don't you? Really, rather than just shoveling it in like that. Now, God bless you. You are a Tottenham fan as well.
I am indeed, yeah.
Yeah. And you played a bit in the past. You played sort of quite a decent standard.
I did, yeah. When I was younger, there was some trials.
We can bring the mic round if you want. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, there was some trials at Hackney Marshes, the good old Hackney Marshes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was coaches from the Turkish Football Federation, and and some of us got in, and there was about 16 of us that went out to Turkey, and I ended up signing for Galatasaray.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a year when they signed Hadji, and I think it was Popescu.
Oh yeah.
It was that year. And,
so did you get to play?
I didn't really know. I didn't. I've trained with the first team a couple of times, but then I got loaned out. First division, second division, Turkey, and I thought, sod this, I'm going back.
Do you still play?
No, I don't. As you can tell, I've been enjoying these pies and these walks, so I don't really play anymore. I'd love to play, but just ain't got the time anymore.
Alongside you's that friend?
It's my mate Jem, yeah.
Hey Jem, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Hey Jem, who's your team?
Spurs as well.
You're a Spurs. Did you boys go? You go at the games or?
As often as we can.
Yeah. Are you sort of North Londoners? Are you from that area?
We're more East London.
Okay. So why Spurs? I often wonder when you kind of what made you Tottenham fans.
Well, when I was younger, my sister used to fancy Glenn Hoddle.
See, that's the great thing about the random way you end up supporting a football team.
She loved that mullet, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a Pip poster on her wall.
Yeah.
And obviously back then Spurs were one of the top teams in the country. Still are. Right.
Wow.
I wish my sister had a thing for Glenn Hoddle.
And hence why, but
and that was it, wasn't it, Joe? And what about you, Jim?
I've got a sister.
How did you get into it? Yeah.
An uncle of mine, it was the first game he took me to when I was about 8 or 9.
Right. Okay.
And never looked back really.
Yeah.
Spurs v Ipswich.
Looking forward now, isn't it? It's all all great.
Well,
I love hearing about how good Spurs are on the telly.
Yeah. I did love Gary Neville's line in commentary yesterday. He said, "Well, why should Mauricio Pochettino have to say what he's doing? You know, he's still manager of Spurs." I'm thinking, well, he doesn't need to do it. Not if you're going to do 10 minutes on it with Martin.
I know, crackers wasn't it?
There's no need, really, is it? If you're going to do a little 10-minute sales job on the club, Gary. Anyway, who else we got here? We got Adam. Good afternoon, Adam.
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, Adam, have you come with Dan?
I have,
Yeah,
yes.
you're his +1. Are you a fellow Leicester fan?
I am, yes.
Okay, and again, why Leicester? Are you from Leicester?
Yeah, born and bred.
Okay, well, fair. That's pretty straightforward.
Well,
there's nobody fancied had a picture of Alan Birchingham on the wall. It's not one of those.
It's a glory hunt. He's only been a fan for 2 years.
Yeah. Did you notice that? I remember after Blackburn won the title, I was walking around sort of Enfield in North London. We're a Tottenham Arsenal country, and there was a couple of blokes in Blackburn fans. That's disgraceful.
It's not right.
You know. So I mean, have you noticed a lot more Leicester shirts? You noticed people who are in your area who weren't particular football fans, and I love the club. You know, start talking about the old days.
A lot of people who supposedly were Man U, Liverpool fans who've become Leicester fans.
Oh, really?
Well, especially that season, anyway. Probably gone back to Man U and Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get tickets nowadays, Paul.
Really, so it's been, And are you well out merchants? We know our old mate Jeff Peters is losing a bit. You're not keen.
But it's a really tricky one.
Yeah.
9th in the league. Got to quarter-final of the Cup, albeit why didn't we put a full team out, which is one of the most frustrating things. There's an element of be careful what you wish for, I guess. If you look at Puel at Southampton and look at Southampton now.
I don't know, you could have Hasenhüttl.
Yeah, he's doing very well, isn't he? He's doing a fantastic
job. I'm so glad we got them in a couple of games' time.
Yeah,
it's great.
But then it's, we're not necessarily entertained as fans, and that's, it's that fine line. I don't,
Yeah, of course, I understand.
Before we beat Chelsea.
I was fully entertained on Saturday afternoon. Tremendous.
Which Leicester players stood out, Andy, for you?
Madison for falling all over the place.
He said Madison was diving. You thought, yeah. Considering he apologised about it the other day. That's quite interesting.
Chowdhury's a good player, actually.
He is good, isn't he? He's decent, yeah. Well, anyway, Dan, this is looking pretty good. Ryan, the Norwich fan, says poleaxed. Companies hire Dan to go around and sack employees on TV. It's like that's quite good. That
it's good, isn't it?
It's like a sort of Lord Sugar situation. You go around, you just say. You're axed. You're axed.
Yeah, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
That's the whole name of the show.
You're axed. Yeah, okay. Well done, Andy, for getting me out of trouble there. Pole in one as he embarks on a career in the PGA Tour. What about you? Any good at golf?
Absolutely useless, Paul.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
With time and dedication.
Yeah, all nice ideas. Keep them coming, listeners. TalkSport.com. Danny's going to leave here potentially a TV star. TalkSport.com, text 81089, tweet TSH&J. Right, let's have a couple more clips then. Now, this is Mike Parry, and it's Andy's favourite clip of all over the years.
It is one of my favourite all-time clips, just for the beautiful level of humourlessness, if that's a word, that Mr. Parry shows.
Bit of a catchphrase. Here he is.
Let's go to James, who's a Man United fan in Sheffield. Goodness me, James, is that you? Are you there?
You're Mars. You're Mars.
You're Mars.
You're Mars. More Mr. Parry later. We've never quite understood this clip. We know what Alan's thought process is, but here it is.
Now, the People's Republic of China was proclaimed with Ma Zedong as its chairman in this day in 1949.
Yeah.
I tell you what result that is. I love a ruby.
Who's Maxi Chung?
And what about, is it on this day, not in this day?
In this day, Maxi Chung. I mean, I've never, what's going on there? It's very strange. Now, this is an old corker. This is Mike Graham. I think he got an email, didn't he?
Eric in Coventry says, Mr. Graham, let the Greeks suffer. A few years ago, I bought some expensive sunglasses from a shop in Crete. They broke as soon as I left the shop. I complained, but all I got was thrown out of the shop by 3 assistants. However, on my last night, I superglued the locks of the shop door and had a poo in the doorway. Quality. Well, that's nice, Eric. I'm sure they'll be delighted to have you back.
What a thing to do.
I know. Not very nice, really.
Okay. And we have one more. I'll tell you what, this is an old classic. I think after Albiston doing the Scottish phone-in.
I'm phoning, about Craig Brown's selection for the Scotland squad.
Yep.
He must know that Hearts have got a good team. We get Colin Cameron in the squad, Stephen Presley.
Yep.
I just don't know why for at least 3 seasons he's been ignoring Antinemi.
Antinemi?
Aye, I don't know why he doesn't get a game.
For Scotland?
Aye.
He's from Finland.
He's what?
He's Finnish, isn't he?
He's not finished. He's only 28.
No, not finished. He's from Finland.
What do you mean?
That's what his nationality is Finnish. He's from Finland.
He's not Scottish?
No.
Hang on, Namey, that great old Scottish name.
That clip's so old, Anti-Name's about 50.
That's right, yeah, it's bizarre. Anyway, we'll have some more clips, more from the listeners. One more, yes, what about this one? Interpol. Dan turns international super sleuth to help solve crime. That's from Dave Gakin. Thank you very much for that, Dave.
I thought there.
Hawksbee and Jacobs here on TalkSport. TalkSport listeners with us in the studio. We'll be handing over to Mickey Gray and Sam Matterface at 4 with Drive. We've been playing you some classic clips from throughout the ages, and this was a moment there. The king of building up for the big moment of matches, of course, Mark Saggers, and he got right into the moment. He had us going with him, and it just went slightly badly for him.
Oh dear.
When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be Mickey Quinn and Jim Proudfoot on Sky on TalkSport tonight.
Oh, it was so close, wasn't it?
So
It was
well.
so good.
Going so well.
What can you do?
Yeah, again, Alan. This is Alan in a very weird moment.
Once met Gloria Hungerford, got a kiss. Bit too much makeup though for me. Up the arse says Donut Dave. Oh, come on, Dave. Whoa. Lovely Gloria.
Gloria Hungerford. That's fantastic. Yeah. Big Arsenal fan, obviously. The guy got in touch. This is a favourite of our producer. Afternoon, Jonathan. If he's tuned in today, see how it's all going.
Unlikely.
He headed back to Torquay early, didn't he? Of course.
Oh yeah.
Because he didn't think he'd get home tonight. Yeah, left us in. No, he didn't. He's fine. It's day off.
Left us
so
off the cliff,
he does
don't
love
worry
this
about
one though. It's Derek Thompson, of course. About the days when we brought you plenty of live racing on the station. It's a bit of a weird one.
So have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Oh, that is brilliant. And good news just in, racing at Uttoxeter goes ahead.
Never mind the birth of baby Jesus. Racing at Uttoxeter is the first thing that came to mind when Tomo heard that song. Yes, now, this is a bit of an old favourite. It's Tony Cascarino was in earlier on with Jim and Bob, and their old mate Patrick Kinghorn, and they had a police officer on the show, but I could never quite work out what rank he was.
No.
Chief Superintendent Ian Johnson, Vice President of the Police Superintendents Association, joins us now. And I understand, Chief Superintendent, that you've been working...
Chief Superintendent, had you ever envisaged any problems?
Have you got the power, Chief Superintendent? I mean...
Chief Superintendent, I can feel for you because I can't see what you can do if...
I tell you what, Chief Superintendent, I went... Chief Super, before we let you go... Well, listen, thanks for joining us, Chief Superintendent Ian Johnson, Vice President of the Police Superintendents Association.
Of course he is.
I'm still not quite sure. Constable. Goffey. Let's have one from Goffey, shall we? A bit of a weird one with a competition.
We have a winner, don't we, Goffey?
Yes, we have.
Darren's our winner.
Congratulations, Darren. You've just won a break to Turkey for you and a mate from Gatwick.
What if you haven't got a mate from Gatwick?
You can't go. That was the rules of the competition.
That'd be a disaster, wouldn't it? What a shame if only I knew someone from Gatwick.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have one more Mike Parry. This, again, classic Mike.
What happened was, at about 5 o'clock the next morning, I suddenly woke up, rolled over, and kissed the person on the head who was next to me. But it wasn't the girl. It was my mate.
On the head?
On the head. I rolled over. Of course, he was horrified. He leapt up, threw a punch at me, and I kind of explained I thought he was a woman. But,
Porky punched again.
And it was all a terrible mistake. But anyway, it only lasted seconds. It was a misunderstanding, and I assure you that I have no heterosexual tendencies. Even if I did have it, I don't suppose it would matter these days.
Fair enough, Mike. Not there's anything wrong with that. So more clips coming up shortly, and who else was rejoined us? We've been rejoined by Jay and Jem have come in today. And so, guys, what is Christmas? What is Christmas for you then? Is it turkey, or which route do you go down?
Christmas tomorrow's a hassle for us.
Is it?
It's our turn to host for the family tomorrow at home. Yeah.
Do they eat turkey in Turkey?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
I suppose they do. Really.
They do.
Yeah.
Well,
it's an obvious question.
Well,
I'm glad you asked it.
It's one that
Turkey,
No, that's true. What is it called? That's a good thing. What's it called?
Hindi.
Hindi.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay.
Hindi with all the trimmings. That's what you'd have. Okay. So your family, they're listening, thinking, oh yeah, great to hear I'm a hassle. But yeah, they're all coming. How many you got coming then?
My Mrs. Shania, she's doing her head in at the moment. We've got about 14 coming tomorrow.
14.
Yeah, right.
Jem, are you among them? You.
No, not this year.
No, okay.
Oh, well, it's been left.
What are you saying? Never again. Yeah.
I've asked for his help, but he said to me no. So.
Let's go for because I was hearing from someone the other day. They've got like 17 there. So what's the highest number? Let's have any. So you're saying 14.
14.
Is anybody hosting more than 14 over Christmas? No, look, you're
7 and 3 grandchildren.
How many you got Boxing Day?
About 16 Boxing
16 Boxing Day. But so you win the Boxing Day competition.
Yeah.
But 14. Well done. That is impressive.
Yeah, I can't wait for Boxing Day. So I kick everyone out of the house and I put the football on and I just sit down.
That's right. They're going to let them pick up the slack. Is that right?
Right.
Fantastic.
Right,
So, Terry, what about you? How many have you got?
6 of us, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just immediate family, 3 children and partners.
Because they reckon that TV viewing habits have changed completely. We used to all sit around and watch Morecambe Wise, whatever it was. I mean, what sort of thing will you watch on Christmas Day? Will you go for the traditional sort of things, or?
I think tomorrow Nickelodeon will be on.
Oh yeah,
right, really? You're a fan?
A bit of Baby Shark.
Bit of SpongeBob.
Really?
Yeah.
But, no, other than that.
I think it has changed, isn't it? I mean, people are doing lots of, people are kind of watching stuff on Netflix and they're doing their own thing, aren't they? It's the old lesser appointment. Nice miserable EastEnders.
I still might take in a bit of Mrs. Brown. It's got to be
Is it
done,
you need a bit of Christmas panto? Fair enough.
Well, you want a bit of that.
Yeah.
So funny thing is, you always watch the films on obviously BBC One and ITV.
Yeah.
But, which they're on Sky all year round. But when they're on those particular channels, you.
Well, it's like they didn't exist before they were on those channels. Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
Is that a promotion for Sky Movies?
Yeah, he's on the payroll. He's definitely on the payroll.
My job is done.
Yeah. So, say Christmas for your lad. A few years back, he'd be getting you up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Is he here yet? Is it? You don't still do that, do you?
I did that last year.
Has he been yet, Dad? Has he been? Yeah. But you're 21 now, son. You've got to stop doing this. Stop waking me up at 4 in the morning. Has he been?
There's still an effort putting the sock on the end of his bed, his stocking. And
yeah, that's lovely. It's good. You've got to keep the traditions up. Is anybody going to be? You sound like you got very young ones there.
Yes, I've got a 4 and a 7-year-old.
Okay,
what's the
rest?
That's a nice age, though. They really must be really up for it.
Yeah, I mean they open up the presents, and after that they're pretty bored with it. After about 10 minutes.
Oh dear.
My oldest lad, once we gave up. We gave up. I think about 4:45. We'd had 4. Has he been yet? Has he been yet? Through the night, and he was. I mean, he was younger, obviously not 26 as he is now. But
obviously.
yeah, it would have been a bit embarrassing. But is any advance on that? Anybody with young kids who's done that to them? Because did yours used to do that as well? Did they just sleep through? It was a long time ago. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay, fair that's why we play Don't Ask Me.
No, they were always very excited.
That's why you could. I'd love to. Me or Mr. Parry, of course, would love to ghost your book, Andy. But you can't remember any. I
can't remember anything.
There's a hell of a book in you. If only
it's been a great life. If only I could remember it.
We need like Keith Richards, aren't you? Really? We need to unlock it. We need to unlock it somehow. So let's have a few more clips, shall we? Let's. What have we got for you?
Run to number 34 on your song sheet.
Number 34 on my song sheet is The Moose.
What a great interview this was.
Well, this is we call this TalkSport's Frost Nixon, don't we?
We
it's
do,
like
yeah.
you rarely get a chance to sit down with a star player like Carlos Tevez as he was.
Before Gary Bloom came along and
Yeah.
did his very in-depth interviews, this was the best.
To get this much out of someone of that level was amazing. Here it is.
The Manchester United players are just literally walking past me right now. In fact, I'm walking up to Carlos Tevez, see if he can grab a quick word. I bet he's busy. Edwin van der Sar's walking past me. Carlos, good luck this afternoon. Thank you. Carlos Tevez saying thank you to be wishing you good luck.
Fantastic. Seminal, wasn't it? We all remember where we were when...
He is brilliant at that, though.
What?
I'll never forget at Moscow airport, and I saw Didier Drogba, and I was a bit too shy to go up to him, and Moose just really moosed him completely.
Yeah.
Didier! He loves you, come here, quick! And
Get him over.
Yeah. Photo taken with him, everything.
Nice.
Great.
And let's have. This is a bit Woody Allen. This, if you're a fan of Woody Allen, it's Tony Cascarino, and he was sent along because obviously Tony played in France and speaks French. Was sent along on an interview with Robert Pires and was translating in the main until this moment.
What is it about the Arsenal that makes you feel at home?
Yes, I like it. The England, I like it. London. And for me, Arsenal, I think is the best club in this country.
Yes, I like Arsenal very much. I love living in London, and I feel that Arsenal is the best club in the country.
They chased him off with a butterfly net across the airport.
I know that he still does it in slightly pidgin English as well.
Yeah, it's just yes. He does. He even does the yes. He does. Yeah, I suppose it's. But to be fair, Tony had done all the French stuff before that, so cut him some slack.
The washing up, I guess.
There's no one here of an age that remembers that.
Not even me.
The NBA run on Christmas Day.
Yeah, American sport does. Yeah,
but Christmas Day in America is slightly different, isn't it? It's not like as big as it is here. You know, it's not like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is much more their
it's
thing.
almost as bad as telling the other half you're coming here, Andy, on Christmas
Oh yeah,
that's a very good point.
Something in the doghouse. Let's squeeze these last few clips in before we say goodbye, and it is Graham Beecroft with a classic Partridge moment, and I think it speaks for itself.
Quite a few sort of girls that go to university, pretty girls, that I've seen go to university end up with pints of ale in their hand. And if there's anything less feminine than that, Paula, I don't know what is really, apart from perhaps facial hair on a girl or something like that.
Is he speaking to Paula Radcliffe there?
He says Paula. Maybe he is. Yeah, I mean, what she made of that comment, but it's just
she wouldn't have been happy.
Facial hair. This was Alan getting caught out when he thought the mics were off, a bit like Christopher did earlier on when he banged his head. So
that's my favourite moment of the show.
Anyway, here it is.
Alvin here with us, with Ronnie and I, right through to 10 o'clock, taking your calls, 08717 223344, your texts and emails. Travel next. Jaffa cake getting on?
If I ever write the TalkSport story, I think it should be called Jaffa Cake, anyone?
I think so too.
I love this one.
This is a good clip.
This is Goffey, and one of the partners, I think it was Corky's dance partner from Dancing on Ice in the studio.
Anyway, enough of Corky. I'd rather speak to his partner, Alexandra Shellman. Where are you from?
I'm from Finland.
Finland? Yeah, you speak Finnish?
Yeah, I can get by. I'll muddle through in my native tongue.
No, I'm only 28.
Yeah. You speak Finnish. Okay, inside the mind of Mike Parry. Very few of us want to travel there, really, do we? But this is just one of the many bizarre insights.
The one I find odd is when you go into these little shops, and they're just corner shops, they've got a machine there saying, get money out of here.
And they never work anyway.
Well, even if they do, I'm a bit suspicious that there's a little, there's not a man in there. And as soon as you push your, your card in, he takes a note of your number and then pushes it out again. And you get a few quid. I mean, they're very odd machines, those.
Well, they are.
Well, Andy, don't join in. Yeah, really. I think by the end, Andy Townsend it was much easier, wasn't it, just to agree with him, the whole thing. But the idea is a little bloke in every cash point. It's not a bad idea. No. And finally, and it's quite a long clip, but that's deliberate. It was Alan over the years has become quite well known for his long questions, isn't he?
They usually contain about another 15 questions.
Supplementaries,
these sub-questions.
So most people don't react to them, but Peter Spencer, then of the Manchester Evening News, as you can hear here, does at the end.
Peter, what about, it's hard to get to the bottom of this because a year ago I loved him the way he was. He led the line. He just led Man United. He was strong. He was, he was just fantastic. The punters loved his attitude, chasing back, getting tackles in, apart from scoring brilliant goals. Now, all of a sudden, is it, I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. What's happened? The World Cup was a disaster. Was that because off the field antics, or allegedly, and all this, or has something been bothering him for a while about United? I don't know. People, footballers sometimes always think the grass is green on the other side. Do they speak to Ronaldo, people like that? Or can we look even deeper? We had a call earlier talking about the problem with the Irish who sold to the Glaziers. The Glaziers have this huge debt hanging over their heads, and at the moment United's cash flow looks after that. But what if one of the other businesses is maybe not pulling its horns in, or pulling the money in it did, and they have to pull the horns in, and perhaps something's got to give. Now, is it a deeper problem than what we know about? Have you heard anything there?
Well, that was a question I once, eh?
Not the question to ask a journalist.
No, that's brilliant. So there we are. That's it. That's our Christmas Eve show. Thank you, everybody, for coming in this afternoon. We really do appreciate it.
What a great bunch.
Yeah, what a good bunch. Thank you so much. So, hope you all have a fantastic Christmas, folks. Thank you very much indeed. We're back on the 2nd of January. And you have a good one, mate.
Thank you very much, Paul. You have a good one too. We should thank our wonderful team. John Cadigan, who's been with us all year, but couldn't be here today because he went home.
Couldn't be here today because he's gone home. But look, there's a reason. He couldn't get a train.
Rufus Gordon. And all our tech ops and Ollie.
That's right. Ollie's with us today. Andy as well has worked with us throughout the year, and Becky and Bill and everybody else. And now, all right, Tinsel, for goodness. I told you, keep your head down, mate. You've only got another few hours and you're home and host for another year. So have a great Christmas, everybody. Thanks for listening to us this afternoon and throughout the year. And a very happy New Year too. We'll catch up with you on the 2nd. Coming up next here on TalkSport.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
so blue, just thinking